place is so massive and there's basically no one here that I think there's room to frolic around here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Time for some frolicking. Hello and welcome to George Goes Everywhere, the show where we explore a city and see as much of it as we can, all without spending more than $100. I'm in Tucson right now here at Rattlesnake Bridge, which, as the name implies, is a giant bridge shaped like a rattlesnake. But there's a reason I came here, because when you think of Tucson, rattlesnakes are something you might be inclined to think of, right? But in today's episode, I don't want to focus on the things you think of when you think of Tucson. I want to do the complete opposite and focus on the things you don't think of when you think of Tucson. And we start with food. When it comes to food in Tucson, I didn't really have any strong thoughts. I figured the food scene was decent, but probably typical of a city its size, which is why I was surprised to learn that Unesco, which is an agency of the United Nations, named it a City of Gastronomy. It's one of only 2 cities in the country to get that designation. Basically, it means the food here is awesome. And if you asked me what type of food Tucson was famous for, I'd be inclined to guess Mexican. And I'd be right, I mean, the Mexican food is amazing here. More specifically, it's Sonoran, because the Mexican state of Sonora is right across the border. So yes, there's a ton of great Mexican food here, but there's something else that I didn't expect, because Tucson is famous for their Sonoran-style hot dogs. And I like to think that I know my hot dogs, and I've never even heard of this. So it's time to fix this hot dog blind spot of mine and go to BK Carne Asada and Hot Dogs. And I mean, they have a giant Sonoran hot dog out front, so you know they're legit. All right, let's get down to business. What is a Sonoran hot dog? It's a bacon-wrapped hot dog topped with beans, tomatoes, mustard, mayo, jalapenos, whole bunch of stuff. Ooh. Oh my God, that is amazing. So this is really a tale of 2 hot dogs, because on the bottom you have the salty, meaty part with the hot dog, then on top you have the sweeter part with the condiments. So you can kind of go back and forth between them. One bite is sweet, one bite is savory, kind of mix it up like that. We also need to talk about the bread. See, most hot dog buns are kind of like split in half, but this is more of like a pocket, like they've dug out a hole and put all this stuff in there, which is nice because a lot of fully loaded hot dogs have problems with the ingredients all falling out. No such problem here. All right, time to get out of here and head to the next place, and I have the perfect form of transportation. Another thing I was surprised to learn about Tucson is that it's one of the most bikeable cities in the country. So I'm using their bike share program to pedal to my next destination. Besides, nothing like riding a bike on a belly full of hot dogs, right? So have you ever heard of Arizona wine country? Yeah, me neither. In fact, wine is probably the last thing I think of when I think of the desert landscape of Arizona, but believe it or not, there are dozens of wineries in this region. So I've come to Arizona Wine Collective, a wine bar where they specialize in serving local Arizona wines. Who needs Napa Valley? We got Southern Arizona. So I got 3 samples, a white, a red, and a rosé. I figure I'll sample them all, then pick one, have a full glass of that. And we start with the white. I like that, it's very smooth, no burn or anything like that. That's pretty good. I'm tempted to call this a flight of wine. You don't get flights of wine, it's a tasting. I'm showing my lack of refinement here. Also very smooth, that's what I'm finding. No like burn when you're going down. It's also pretty good, we got the red to contend with, so we'll see how that is. This might be a winner, it's just got more kick to it, more bite to it, and I like that. Oh yeah, we definitely have a winner. I'm definitely gonna have to get a full glass of this. You know, I actually don't think I've ever drank wine on this show. This is George Goes Everywhere first. Especially after that bike ride, it's nice to just sit back in a big comfy chair and have a drink. Arizona wine, who knew? Now, this is Arizona, so when it comes to animals, you might be inclined to think of lizards and snakes like we saw at Rattlesnake Bridge earlier, which is why I was surprised to hear that this is actually one of the top bird watching destinations in the country. And look, bird watching is probably not something I'd ever do in my normal life, but that's kind of the point of traveling, isn't it? To do stuff you normally wouldn't do, because you never know, you might love it. And this one actually serves a bit of a double purpose because I get to check out what they call A Mountain. It's where the University of Arizona put a giant A on the side of the hill, and it also offers amazing views of the city. I even picked up a pair of binoculars so I look like a real pro, so let's get watching. I think this will be fun, I like birds. Actually, a few years back I set up a bird feeder outside my bedroom window and it was nice. Although it did cause a bit of a problem when my neighbor got angry with me because my bird feeder was stealing birds from his bird feeder, so there's a little bit of drama. Hopefully this will be less drama. Okay, I'm not seeing anything just yet, but I've also heard that you have to be patient, and I guess having just had a glass of wine is helpful in that regard. Come on, birdie, 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 where are you? Think I see one. I see like a gray one hopping along the ground there. There's actually a handful of apps that help you identify what bird you see. You type in what it looks like, how big it was, what color, stuff like that, and it spits out a bunch of different options. So based on what I typed in, I think I saw the rock pigeon. Pigeon, eh? Pretty exotic. Can't see that just anywhere. You gotta come to A Mountain for that one. Come on, birdie. Come on, birdie, birdie, birdies, where are you? I see a couple, they're just so fast, I can't get a good look at them. My goodness, these buggers are quick. You know, it barely even matters if I see any birds, because this view is amazing. I mean, I love scenic overlooks, so birds or not, I'm still happy I'm here. So this one is kind of related to the urban sprawl I mentioned earlier, because instead of the cars associated with urban sprawl, Tucson is home to one of the largest collections of planes in the entire country here at the Pima Air and Space Museum. Just how big is it? Well, they have over 300 planes spread out over 80 acres, so yeah. Pretty big. This place is absolutely packed with planes. They're next to you, they're above you. If there's room for a plane, they've put one there. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to climb on them or anything. I even have a sign saying so that's a little disappointing. Okay, this is the one thing they actually allow you inside. There are a lot of controls, oh my goodness. Oh, you thought there were a lot of planes inside? way to get outside. Oh my God, they are everywhere. This place is so massive and there's basically no one here that I think there's room to frolic around here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Time for some frolicking. They got a prototype of a Boeing 787. These engines are absolutely massive. I mean, I'm not a short guy, but they make me look tiny by comparison. I do have to watch my head a bit though. Sometimes these things are just low enough to crack me in the head. This one is really cool. This is Air Force One that was used by JFK and Lyndon Johnson, and actually it looks a little rickety if I'm being honest. It goes to show just how far airplanes have come in the past 50 years. I tell you, I could really use that bike right about now. Talk about a bikeable area. This is a bikeable area. And this, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's gotta be the ugliest plane I've ever seen in my entire life. Super Guppy Cargo Transport on loan from NASA. Oh, okay, it's NASA. They get a pass then. This might be the biggest plane they have here, or at least the widest. The wingspan is absolutely massive. In fact, I'm gonna see how long it takes me to run from end to end. Whew. See? I told you it was a long wingspan, but between that and my frolicking earlier, I think I've had enough planes for today, so let's press onward. As a sports fan, when I think of Tucson, I think of football. The University of Arizona is here, and their football team plays here at Arizona Stadium. But there's something beneath this stadium that most people don't realize. Something that might be the complete opposite of football. See, down there is a mirror lab that makes the mirrors that are used in the most powerful telescopes in the entire world. You know those giant observatories you see at the top of mountains and stuff like that? Well, the mirrors that are used in those telescopes are made right here in Tucson, under the football stadium. Why is it under the football stadium of all places? No idea. Is it amazing? Definitely. Unfortunately, it's not open to the public, but I did hear something else that puts it in a little more perspective. See, Tucson has what they call a dark sky code to limit light pollution, which results in some of the best stargazing and darkest night skies of any city its size in the country. So yeah, when you hear that, this being the place where they manufacture telescope mirrors makes a lot more sense. So given all that, I now have a good idea of what I should do next. But it does involve waiting until nighttime. Thankfully, U of A has these nice swings to pass the time. The sun has set and I'm headed to Sky Bars, an astronomy-themed bar where astronomers set up telescopes on the patio to take advantage of the dark Tucson skies. The owners of this place also own the pizza place next door that is entirely solar-powered, so it's pizza and astronomy. Pretty good combo if you ask me.
We are looking at the planet Jupiter. So Jupiter is the bright planet, and Saturn is also visible.
That laser pointer is amazing. Okay, it's pointed at Jupiter?
Yes.
All right.
But we can see the 4 biggest, brightest moons of Jupiter. We have Io, Europa, Callisto, and Ganymede.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes, you can totally see all 4 of the moons. Maybe even a couple others in the distance? I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part.
Do you see the cloud bands across Jupiter? They look like pink stripes.
Yeah, you can definitely see the cloud bands. It looks white, but you can see the red stripes across it. That's amazing.
You should be able to see Saturn's biggest, brightest moon, Titan, just below Saturn.
Oh yeah, for sure. Amazing, it looks so clear. Just the moons are all scattered around, you can see them.
So this one is known as the Owl Cluster, and you may have to use your imagination a little bit, but those 2 bright stars would be the eyes of the owl.
Oh yeah, I can see an owl. I see the eyes and the wings, for sure. Well, it's sideways now, but if I turn like this, totally see an owl. So this is a double star?
Yes.
Double star? Amazing. Amazing.